Hello, friends, and welcome to the Calm Cast, where the topics, our voices, and our seats are all very, very soft. I am your host, the Vagabond, with my co-host, Dove. How are you today, Dove?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Today, we'll be talking about high thread count sheets. Do you enjoy high thread count sheets, co-host Crow?
I've always loved high thread count sheets.
I am personally a fan of Egyptian cotton. The way it caresses my body. Who might that be?
I don't know.
Perhaps another calm brother like us. I will go check the door. Hello, Fred. Wait, why have we gone? Ah!
Who the fuck were those guys?
No idea.
Hey friends, welcome to the Almost Live podcast. We're back for the second official episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got some pretty good topics for you lined up today. So sit back, relax, get yourself a nice cool glass of iced tea, because it's time to have some fun.
What if I don't like iced tea?
Well then, drink a different kind of drink. Drink something that tickles your fancy. Iced tea, Coca-Cola, maybe a crisp Jack and Coke. Whatever you like. Maybe some wine.
You tickle my fancy.
No, I don't. You said you weren't going to talk about that.
Oh wait, no.
That was our secret.
Today's not Thursday. Damn.
It's our secret. God, I can't believe you. You're
Sorry.
fired.
Sorry, Rachel. Oh, I'm fired? Alright, I'm out.
No. We just shot two people. We can't abandon this. We're in this together. We're in this
I can
forever
abandon
now.
this.
No, you can't. You're on recording.
Shit.
Audio proof. Anyway, listeners, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to touch in with Crow a little bit because I heard some news that you moved out of your parents' house finally.
Yes, I have. After 21 years, they are finally rid of me.
Finally. I wish I could have that same grace.
You can, man. Come move in with me.
No, get rid of you.
Oh, yeah. Everyone does.
So you've been living life how you want to live, couple brewskis after a long work day?
Yeah. So, like, every day this past week, as soon as I got home, within 5 minutes of walking in the front door, I've had a beer.
That's the way to live. What kind
Every day.
of beer you drink?
Michelob Ultra.
Not horrible, but not the best.
Yeah, it's not great, but it was cheap, so.
I mean, yeah, Ultras, I believe Ultra, is Ultra light?
Yes, it is.
Okay, brand of light, okay. Did you try that with lime or lemon?
I have not.
Get that down to like a quarter lemon, sixth of a lemon, something like that. Just pop it in the top.
Definitely have to try that.
Dude, it'll change your life. I know it works well with Corona. Anyway, I have a story that I came across today. We have a whole lot of weird news that's going to be going through to you listeners today. Hopefully it interests you because it's a wide variety of topics.
It's really weird shit.
It's some of the weirdest shit that I think that I have seen on the internet within recent time.
Actually, should we address some of the negative comments we've received?
What kind of negative comments?
So I've heard that we've been cursing too much.
And some people think that, and some people, it's a taste. It's a certain taste.
That's true.
We are gonna try to tone it down, bring it back a little bit, maybe not have like 17 F-bombs in a row, but we do want this to be as transparent and real as possible. So it'll be an attempt.
Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, we're good.
Okay, yeah, there we go. There's his. Now, officially, according to movie rules, we are allowed to have one F word for a PG-13 rating.
Oh, wait, this is PG-13?
I mean, I guess technically. Well, now we're back at R. So, promises off the table. But on the subject of the topics we had, now that you sidetracked me, I came across one from Arizona that reminded me a lot of me and you and one of the experiences that we had around Christmas, I'd say 3 years ago.
Okay.
Two men in Arizona were arrested recently in regards to a firearm. But not in the way you would think. They were arrested because they were shooting at each other wearing a bulletproof vest. trying to test out the vest.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah, yeah. So according to the news article, I do not know what handgun was used, but I know it was a basic 6 to 8 shot handgun, and I'm assuming the bulletproof vest worked because it did not say that there were any deaths in regards to the back and forth little 10 pace
A little altercation.
the altercation they were doing. It wasn't even altercation.
Or they were just testing it out?
Yeah, it was an agreed upon thing. They were both just like, yeah, what? Yeah, I think the story went the one of the two gentlemen, we'll call him Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Jeff and Larry.
Jeff and Larry, yeah, we'll call him Jeff and Larry. So Jeff had acquired a bulletproof vest.
Mm-hmm.
He I guess he just wanted to buy one to have it, sort of how I have my riot shield.
Yeah.
I have no use for it, but it's just cool
It's
to
not
have.
yet.
And he told Larry to come over with his gun so they could test it out.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry didn't know initially, but I'm assuming he was brought to the fact that he was shooting at his friend wearing the vest when he got there.
Yeah.
But Jeff put on the vest. He was like, "Hey Larry, shoot me." And so Larry shot him square in the chest. Did not die because the man got mad. Jeff got mad that it hurt so much. And so he was like, "You put on the vest." And so Larry put on the vest, and then Jeff shot at him. And they went, I want to say it went back and forth about 3 times before police showed up because obviously, gunshots back and forth.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a little messed up. But you remember the story with us.
Yeah, I remember
with
that.
us of this, yeah. We had BB guns.
Yes, I had an airsoft gun at the time.
Yeah, we both had CO2 ones.
Yes.
But this is mainly about yours. And or actually no, you didn't use yours. I brought mine.
Did you?
Because I had my revolver with the red tips because those
yeah.
those sting. Those are
those hurt.
Yeah, they're essentially BB pellets with a red cone tip on the thing that comes to a point. So it penetrates and it stings more than just a regular copper ball.
And it kind of almost blossoms to a point.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say blossom. It kind of comes like a cone, like a pyramid kind of thing.
Yeah.
At the tip, it comes to a point. I think blossoming, doesn't that mean it goes outwards?
Yes, but that's like after it hits, it kind of like blossoms out.
The metal portion of it does.
Yeah.
The metal portion does blossom out.
The plastic just fucking explodes.
Yeah. But around Christmas time, as some of you know, Crow lived very close to me, as we told in our pilot episode. Go check that out if you want to know a little more backstory on us. I walked over to his house in my jacket. It was a thinner jacket. It wasn't super thick.
Yeah.
And I had my CO2 revolver with me, loaded with red tips, 6 shots. I knocked on the door. I had him come out, and I said, "Hey, I didn't have anything to get you for Christmas, so as my Christmas present, I will let you shoot me in the chest 6 times with my CO2 revolver, fresh canister, with red tips, point blank. Like I would say maybe 4 or 5 feet away.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Which this thing stings from 50.
Yeah, like that.
So 5 feet away, there's
would've
going to
drew
be
blood.
drawn. Yeah, it's going to be drawn some blood. And so he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yes." And so he grabs it,
fucking
turns off his
finally.
safety, he points it at me immediately. He's like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Yep." And I tense up, and he goes, "Boom, boom, 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 boom." And he's just laughing. He's like, "Oh, that was amazing."
Like little to no hesitation on my end.
I would not say there was any. So after he shoots me, he walks over to me and kind of like, gives me a little hug. He's like, "Merry Christmas, bud." And then I unzip my jacket, revealing my bulletproof airsoft vest. I said, "You too, fucker."
Probably one of our closest moments.
Yeah, one of the better moments because Crow, unbeknownst to him, he did not know that I had this vest I
had
received
absolutely
it
no
for
idea.
Christmas. He had no idea I had it, so it came as a total shock to him. And luckily, it wasn't a live handgun, or we might have reached the same incarcerated fate as the 2 men in Arizona.
Definitely.
But man, the look on your face was pretty golden. And in the subject of the guys in Arizona, the guns are fairly deadly weapons.
Oh.
So you have to think of how quickly were they alternating between shooting and the vest. Because you would assume after 2 shots are heard, I'm assuming it's a mildly suburban neighborhood, maybe not like, outer city suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
But with how fast the cops would have got there, they had to have been like just popping back and forth real quick. There's other deadly weapons that are in this world too that cops would probably show up pretty quick for as well. Swords, knives. I'm trying to think
Any
of
type
other
of sharp weapon, really.
Yeah, and that can hurt a lot of people. Like a 13-year-old teenager that you told me you found a story on.
Yes. A teen survived a 10-inch knife lodged into his face.
Did you just say 10 inch?
10 inches.
Was it like going straight into his face? Or was it like, or was it kind of like, where you chop really hard down on it and it kind of sticks long ways across the cutting board?
From what I could tell, it was like underneath, like right underneath his eye, and shoved upwards towards his brain.
What?
Yeah, it from what I can tell from the...
Did he get, was this a mugging?
I'm not...
Or a burglary or something?
He was actually falling out of a treehouse ladder.
Why do you have a knife in a treehouse?
I don't know. But it's really, really... Oh, okay, actually, as I'm reading up more about this... he survived a penetrating injury to the head after falling from a treehouse ladder in Missouri, landing on a foot-long metal meat skewer. He said he was being attacked by yellow jackets, a type of wasp, before he fell.
Yeah, yellow jackets can suck, but I don't know if I would take the pain of a 10-inch blade going into my
I wouldn't
cranium
do that either.
over a few.
That's just... No.
Well, probably more than a few, but some yellow jackets.
I mean, if I grabbed like a tennis racket and just started swinging like mad.
That would... Yeah, well, I mean... Actually, I guess if he had a knife of that caliber in his treehouse, there's a good chance he might have a tennis racket.
Yeah.
Because I don't think knives are really on the common side of things.
Not in a treehouse.
To have in a tree.
I mean, besides our treehouse.
Did he have a full kitchen? Was he preparing the dinner for the night, inviting some of his stuffed animal friends over for a good little tea party? And
I mean, I would have invited you to mine.
Fair enough, but I think I would be a little hesitant with a 10-inch blade.
Nah.
Sitting. I'm. Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, knowing you now, I probably wouldn't, just because of how much I know that you have blades. It doesn't necessarily scare me as much.
Yeah,
but
apparently, after recovering from the freak incident, he's the second kid in his town that has recently been treated for a sharp object piercing his head.
What is wrong with this town?
I don't know.
Are you not watching your children?
I mean, it's Missouri, so...
I mean, I lived in Missouri, and I was doing none of... Oh, actually, no.
There it is.
No, I didn't play with knives. I didn't have a treehouse, but I do remember... See, if I moved here in 3rd grade, I was probably... I must have been kindergarten to 1st grade. Mm-hmm. And I would walk to my bus stop. It was really close to the quadruplex we lived in.
Yeah.
And after I got off, I would walk back with this girl, Jewel, that I was very enthralled with. She was a friend from the same cul-de-sac. Mm-hmm. And, I was young, so it was innocent.
Yeah.
But we would walk back from the bus. We walked through this back parking lot for the apartment and quadruplexes around us. And there was almost always an empty beer bottle. Mm-hmm. And every time that we passed one, I would grab it, throw it real high in the air, and it would smash and just shatter on the ground.
Yeah, naturally.
Which... I guess it's not to the same caliber of danger as I would think of, trying to fend off yellow jackets with a knife as you fall out of a treehouse.
Yeah, that's
But thinking back on it now, I probably messed up quite a few pairs of tires.
Probably.
And as far as I know, I don't have a very good recollection of that time, but I don't think that anyone confronted my mother or anyone about me throwing if they saw me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know eventually it stopped because I stopped finding beer bottles, but that's probably because I kept breaking them and messing up people's tires.
Now, see, when fending off yellow jackets, would you rather use a knife or would you use a blowtorch?
I would probably still use the knife. But I still think that there's other ways to fend off. Like, even if I had to swat with my hands.
Then they're just going to sting you in the hand.
Yes, but then I wouldn't have a 10-inch blade lodged in my skull.
That might be true.
And how old was this kid? Was he like...
I actually don't know. It doesn't say in...
Let me see if I can...
In my little patch notes here.
Okay, I opened up the story here.
Oh.
It says teenager.
It does. Oh, yeah, yes. He was 15 years old.
Okay, that more or less that I'm not gonna say it makes sense,
It doesn't really make sense, but
but that's the right age range to be doing some crazy stupid shit.
yeah.
What other? Okay, so we know this kid. We know this kid likes knives and tree houses.
Yeah.
What else do you think he does in his spare time, just based off of his knife addiction? I'm assuming that he's probably getting into drugs a little bit, probably like
Getting into some girls.
getting into some girls, maybe maybe a
I
girl.
mean, not with a knife in his head, but
I think that might help his case. Just be, like, don't tell him that you fell out of a treehouse.
no, of course not.
Don't tell him you fell out of a treehouse.
You got in a knife fight.
But yeah, just be like, oh yeah, I was walking through the city. Two babes on my arms, and I noticed a third babe getting mugged in an alleyway, so I went over there to stop the guy, and I managed to knock him unconscious until the police arrived to detain him, but he did end up lodging this 10-inch blade into my brain. If you'd like to see, if I pull out my wallet, I do have a wallet-sized copy of the X-ray, if you want to look at it. Yeah, but maybe, who knows? Maybe he's he's getting the girls, getting drugs. Maybe some pretty girl sells him oregano that he firmly believes is drugs.
Yeah.
What were you doing at 15?
Personally, for me, at 15, I was wanking my willy. That's right, choke on it.
I was coughing at the same time I laughed. That did not feel good. I need a drink. God.
Congratulations. I made you choke for the first time.
Yeah, that would be the first time.
And it won't be the last.
What was your favorite wanking site?
Pornhub was definitely my favorite.
Pornhub.
To this day.
I have I don't know. It's like, personally for me at that point in time in my life, I would think I would be along the same criteria now.
Mm-hmm.
But like Pornhub and RedTube and what is it, Bang Bros?
Yes, and X Hamster is another good one.
Yeah, well, I mean, X Hamster's kind of in the middle range. What I was saying is, like, those bigger sites, like, it always felt really corporate to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're going to buy produce,
Mm-hmm.
like, say, tomatoes, apples, whatever,
Yeah.
you could go to Walmart or Target or, Cub, and they probably have pretty good produce, but you're going to find the best stuff, the absolute juiciest Fuji apple, like the crunchiest and most just fresh cucumber.
Yeah.
You'll find that at farmers markets.
Oh, definitely.
The lower down.
Oh.
So like I wasn't super into those higher corporate wank sites. I
Yeah.
was more into
The farmer's market of porn.
the farmers market of porn, the amateur stuff. I record this on a Nokia cell phone at a party kind of stuff. Maybe higher quality, but same basic idea. But I know that in Denmark, I believe it's Denmark. Let me pull it up. That's where the Danish are from, right? It's Denmark.
I believe so. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Denmark. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Denmark. Okay. I know Denmark is pretty popular with going to Pornhub, and I know that because a Danish politician that was running for a member of Denmark's parliament ran the beginning, struts of his ad campaign on Pornhub.
I gotta be kidding me.
No.
I mean, like, it's a great way to get your voice out there because
it's a weird strategy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I will admit that it's a weird strategy, but if you think about average users, right? You could advertise with ads on the sides of basic websites like eBay or whatever, and you would probably get a few people clicking through. Like maybe older. I won't say older people because a lot of young people are still into politics and they're still very much trying to get involved with that just because of the state of the economy right now.
Yeah.
But you probably get, some, late 20s, early 30s, older people clicking on the ads to see, who's running for these different positions in government. And so, Facebook might get quite a few people. Maybe you did an Instagram ad. I know those bother me, but I mean, you get seen.
Yeah.
But if you think about the mass amount of users that are hopping on daily to get their rocks off.
Oh yeah.
That's it. It's definitely a power move.
Oh, definitely.
It's a massive power move. And honestly, I respect it. And I think it's, I wouldn't say it's a good move in the eyesight of the general public.
I wouldn't say so.
But for avid response,
I'd say it's definitely a good platform.
Yeah, because you're getting automatic exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, yes, you do have to pay for the placement on the website, but if I saw a politician's ad on Facebook, like say I saw like a little thing for Trump 2020, watch his first his first campaign speech.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna click in on that, and I'm not gonna tell you that I saw it because who cares? It's an ad. Doesn't matter if it's Trump, Hillary, Sanders, whoever. It's just an ad on Facebook.
Yeah.
But if I see a politician's ad on Pornhub,
I'm just gonna look at it like wait, what the fuck is this? I'm gonna click on it.
yeah, number one, I would tell you about it. Number two, I would click on it just because innately in my brain I would think, this politician did porn, and like I would want to know the story behind that so that I could tell you even more about it. So I do respect his
tenacity, I guess.
tenacity. I was gonna say chutzpah, but that's not a real word.
Yeah, I'm not.
But like
sure.
it captures the essence of what he did. But like this guy, I'm looking at a picture of him. He looks like the dude that would advertise on Pornhub.
He looks like a dude that would do porn.
Yeah, one of his eyes is not facing the correct direction, probably due to overwanking. The testosterone, all the bodily fluids. Blood's not going to his brain; it's going downstairs. So
it's not going to the right head.
His eyeball is just kind of going over to a different side.
Yeah.
Or even better yet, maybe he's out in public. Obviously, he's getting his picture taken. Looks like he's in a scenic area. Maybe he's looking at the camera with the one eye to be polite, but then the other guy's drifting to the side. Hot girl in some yoga pants. Maybe he's near a tennis court.
I'm down for that.
Believe me, I know you are. And the kicker about this, like, aside from the fact that he advertised on one of the world's largest pornographic sites,
yeah,
he's a ex-gold medalist. Or no, I'm sorry, silver medalist in shot put for Denmark.
That's fantastic.
So this man has gone to the world finals of shot put to represent his country on a global scale. Still decides Pornhub's the best place to do it.
I mean, but he gets his name out there. It's something.
Yeah, word of mouth is definitely going to carry for that.
I mean, hell, maybe we could put this on Pornhub.
Yeah,
Just buy a little ad space.
And the thing is, a lot of people speculate whether or not it was him that decided to put it up there. Maybe it was just his campaign team trying to make a risky move. But he confirmed it on his Facebook.
Oh, damn.
That he's the one that actually went through and gave the okay to run it.
Oh, damn.
And
That's...
Yeah, he told Denmark's I don't know the full name, but it's BT's newspaper that the election campaigns are serious, but there must also be some humor in it.
Oh, there's definitely humor in it.
It's kind of what I assume is more of a Barack Obama approach, because he obviously he was very serious about his job. He did take it very seriously, but as you can see in the video of his last inaugural address, the last assembly of the House, he had Keegan Michael Key doing the ghetto translation in the background. That was hilarious, and the way that he addressed the "Thanks Obama" movement on the internet by making his own comedic video of it. With the cookie not fitting in the milk jar.
Yeah.
He embraced it, and I feel like that's the same thing that this politician is doing himself. I can see if I can pronounce his name. It looks like Joachim B. Olsen. Or like Joachim? Maybe Joachim? That sounds...
Jacques and Jerkin?
Jacques and Jerkin. That sounds Danish, right?
I think so.
And it looks like, actually, it says here that the elections were June 5th. So you tell a small story or something about like some crazy something that happened to you at work while I look up and see if he actually won the election.
Well, recently while I've been at work, I mean, I don't really do a whole lot. I mean, I'm on a forklift the whole day. I'm just riding back and forth between freezers. I think this past Thursday, which would have been, let's see, the 20th, I believe? Yes, the 20th. I was in a freezer, which is like -10, because we have to keep everything, for some reason, below 0, which I absolutely hate.
Well, I think it's to preserve the meat, because if it's below 0, bacteria can't grow on it, so then it makes it last longer, yeah.
I was in there for like 3 hours.
Ooh.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, that does not sound like a good time.
Like, my nose was running, couldn't feel my fingers, couldn't feel my feet, because I didn't wear the correct socks. I had the right gloves, though. Still freezing cold.
Good.
They were still freezing cold. Nothing I can do about it. And I wasn't really allowed to take a break because I don't really know who my supervisor is yet.
How do you not know how long have you worked there and you don't know your supervisor?
Well, I was on morning shift for 2 weeks, for training. Then when I switched over to night shift, as soon as all the morning leads are gone, I don't know who it is. And I haven't been told in 6 weeks. So I don't know who it is at all.
I mean, I guess I didn't really remember that you had switched to the other shift, so I guess that sort of makes sense, but I
Yeah.
still feel like one of your main things when you start should be knowing your supervisor, your superiors, and all that.
Well, you'd think they would have told me. But they didn't.
I guess, yeah.
Well, granted, there is this one guy who, he's not really my supervisor, but he gives me the work to do, so I kind of give him that respect of a supervisor.
Makes sense.
He's kind of a dick.
I mean, most bosses are. I mean, I know he's probably going to listen to this, so I apologize in advance. But my boss, I'm not going to say his name out of respect, so no one, searches him around or something. But he has a tendency to be overbearing and a little strict at times, but it's
A little bit.
yeah, but it's not in a bad sense. It's in a I understand that this is tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I am getting a little angry just because of the fact of how many, orders we have to do.
Yeah.
But, we do need to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not out of a disrespect, and I don't think of him badly for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, people can be overbearing and dickish at times. You just got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I'm there from 1:30 to, well, my schedule is 1:30 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm regularly there till midnight.
That can happen. I've been there.
So, for the most part, I don't end up finishing my work. So the guys in the morning shift, I'm like, hey, here you go.
That's what happened to me when I did screen printing. The guy they hired for the extra, or pretty much do my job on second shift, just had no idea what he was doing, even though they said that he did.
Yeah.
And I had to pick up his work.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm looking through back on the subject of Danish Pornhub,
Yes, continue.
it does not look like Joachim B. Olsen got his office election there.
Oh,
He was in office from 2011 to 2019, so he did have an 8-year run.
hell, that's still better than most presidents.
Yeah. I wouldn't say. I don't know if I really say most presidents. I mean, I haven't looked into.
I mean,
The
as far as I'm aware, most presidents only have a 4-year run.
I mean, maybe. I mean, the ones that at least in my existence of being alive.
recent history, it's
Yeah,
been 8 years.
it's been all I can consciously remember has been Bush and Obama.
Yeah.
And they've both run 8. But I'm sure before that there was a lot of 4-year terms.
Yeah.
I know who was it? Jefferson, I think, had a 3, because that's before they put in the 8-year limit.
I believe so.
Something like that. I know one of the presidents did, but I don't know so much if it was Jefferson or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I get how they want to limit, presidential, runs or whatever, because I mean it could turn into a monarchy
Oh, definitely.
of sorts. Like if you look at Russia, like it's technically not a democracy. It's not a democracy. I can't remember the name for it, but there are elections for it. But if you're running against Putin, he's such a powerful person.
Oh, yeah.
And Putin, please don't send Russian spies to kill me for saying this. But if people run against him, like he's a scary guy. Like oh, he's running against. Oh, this. Let me put on my Russian accent real quick. Oh, this guy's running against me. Send bears to kill him. Like. That'd be scary.
Yeah.
He's a powerful man. He could send Russian mafia after you or something.
In Soviet Russia, bear trap you.
Exactly. In Soviet Russia, Putin just win.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But I can see why they put terms on American government.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's a money aspect to it as well.
Probably.
Well, I mean, maybe not, because I'm assuming they would pay. Like with taxes and whatnot, it'd come around to the same for every president. They're not going to adjust living taxes per president what they think.
I don't really know
I don't know. We're not versed enough in politics for that. But on the subject of money,
Mm-hmm.
I have it written down that I was supposed to tell you about this,
Okay.
but I don't believe I actually gave you the front to go look at it.
I'm looking at the agenda and you didn't.
Okay.
You told me
I did
nothing
not.
about this.
Okay, my bad. I can sort of carry this then as well.
By all means.
There were thieves that went to go open a ATM to steal money.
Mm-hmm.
And they did probably one of the most hilarious and boneheaded mistakes of all time. I would like to preface this by saying that they were from Florida.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it's sort of a Florida man story.
Oh, I love those.
And it's in the same shocking manner.
Mm.
Two thieves walked up to an ATM
Mm-hmm.
in I don't know what city it was in. I can probably find it. Okaloosa County. So in Okaloosa County, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
two thieves walked up to an ATM that was a little bit off the street, and with one standing guard to watch for anybody, obviously wearing a mask,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one that was walking up to the ATM in a mask as well,
Yeah.
to use a blowtorch to cut the ATM open and steal the money. He ended up sealing the ATM. He accidentally
Are you
welded it shut.
Wow.
They tried to cut open the ATM to get money, and the stupid bitch welded it shut.
Fucking party foul.
Massive party foul. But could you just I just want to be the person who was watching that CCTV footage.
Oh yeah.
Cuz there has been footage, and as far as I'm aware, they have been by tracing them down different cameras and such as that. I believe they have identified them.
Okay.
Because it doesn't. Looking at it now, I believe the man welding it had a mask, but it looks like the guy that was standing guard only had like a larger like ski hat.
Like a bed sheet.
Not a bed sheet. Like a big beanie, like a winter beanie that can go down over your ears. He just kind of pulled it down so it half covered his eyes, so the shade would, I guess, discern people from knowing his eye color, because that's a big giveaway for a lot of cases. But yeah, I just want to be the guy that watched that CCTV footage just to see the general reaction of the man who welded his shut. Just like,
well, shit.
You just like, all right, should be good.
Tunk, tunk, tunk. The fuck? Hey, Bill.
Hey, it's a funny story. I guess I welded it shut.
Like, how stupid do you have to be to weld it shut?
I mean, I'm assuming he was using just an average blowtorch. I believe to get through, like, I don't know the thickness of the metal of an ATM. I'm assuming it's moderately thick.
Probably.
But to cut through instead of welding, you do need, from what I know from spy movies, is some kind of larger suction cup or magnet with a handle so you can pull back on it.
Yeah.
And also some kind of, like, a plasma cutter.
Yeah.
A blowtorch is going to heat it up. And I'm assuming the guy, because of the fact that he welded the door shut, I don't think he was trying to cut a hole through it. He was probably trying to cut through the lock.
I could see
or
that.
like heat up the metal of the lock so we could just like kick it or something, knock it loose, so then he could get in and get money. You would think that people doing this, like, granted, criminals are stupid. We stand before you knowing this.
Definitely.
But you would think that there would at least be a little bit of research behind going to do this, even at an earlier morning hour, late night, whatever, when no one's really around. There should still be a certain amount of research that is put into this. Like, that's nuts.
Like, you would think that, not only doing the research, but I wouldn't say, like, testing it on different materials to see, like, how long it would take. Yeah,
but where are you going to find 1 inch thick, like, steel?
Amazon?
I guess, but, they had a plan set out. They knew when they needed to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And maybe if there's, like, cop patrols, like, a lot of cop patrols, they take similar routes, and they'll change it up occasionally. Maybe they're trying to get it before the routes changed up, because then they'd have to resurvey, refigure things out.
That's true.
Looking at the Facebook post from Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, they said it was about 2 weeks ago they were working to track down the men, and I believe now that they've been caught, I believe I did see that in a different site story on a more recent one. But it says that the way they found this out was a worker came to service the machine the next morning and found burn marks on the hinges and locks. So yeah, it does look like he was trying to cut off the hinges.
Yeah,
like
he's just trying
burn
to
through the hinges,
rip the door off.
Yeah, take out the lock and just kind of like maybe smack it so just like the vibration would knock it, and just make the door fall out. And the hinges were actually welded shut. So it wasn't the lock that got welded. It was the hinges themselves. I guess the pin melted into the where are they? The rotating.
The bracket itself, I guess.
Yeah, I guess bracket would be the right word for that. And it does say in here that it was two white male suspects with their face covered. So perhaps maybe they didn't find it, because like looking at the picture, it does look like the one guy does have half of his face showing, but maybe there's a bandana that I just can't tell in the blue CCTV.
Yeah.
It says on the subject of attire, one had a black half nose mask with black sunglasses and a black leather style jacket, camo pants, and military boots with gloves, of course. Another wore a tan toboggan style hat, which was, I believe, that ski hat is what they're referring to on that. Oh, with a scarf around his face and a black long sleeve Under Armour shirt. Okay, there we go. Multiple color stripes. And that guy had a crowbar. And he was serving as the lookout. And instead of cutting through the ATM with the blowtorch, the would-be thief welded the metal part shut, and the pair left with nothing.
They even left without their dignity.
They left as just a mystery, a legend among the Florida stories.
Another Florida man story.
I'm not hoping they don't get caught. That's not. I want them to get caught, because obviously that's a very stupid thing to do, and they do deserve to be reprimanded for it.
Yes.
But on the chance they don't, I hope that it gets to a point in their life where obviously they realize they were wrong, but that they can tell people this story.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the faces of the men who welded this shut. If they can figure out who they are, I will do my very best to find a way to the Florida penitentiary to interview them in person.
I'll come with you.
We can do a podcast from the Okaloosa County Jail where these men will be held.
That would be fantastic.
To interview them and just try to figure out their mindset.
That'd be great.
I think that'd be fantastic. I don't know how well the audio quality would be in there, because I don't think we could probably bring this whole setup in.
I doubt it.
But at least get like a phone recorder, and I'll do my best to make it sound good.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just absolutely legendary. These aren't the only Florida man stories either.
Well, there's
like
thousands
Florida,
of them.
Apparently Florida is known. I don't know why Florida was chosen.
Florida, Ohio, and I think it's Oklahoma are like the three biggest.
Well, I know Ohio is. A lot of my family lives in Ohio, and I could definitely see this being definitely an Ohio fad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact story, but I believe in Ohio I was actually near where my grandfather lives. A man, he just stole a billboard.
How do you steal a billboard?
It wasn't one of the giant ones on the metal pole that you see along the highway.
Oh, okay.
But it was a decent sized billboard. The guy just been going around stealing billboards off county roads.
How? Why?
Why is the right question. I don't know why. I don't see any legitimate reason unless it was like a funny billboard. Because like I know in Colorado they don't have a mile 420 sign on the interstate anymore.
No, it's
because of legalization. It's 419.99.
Yeah.
Just so people don't take it, which in my opinion I would still take that one, because how many 419.99s do you see?
That's a valid point.
Yeah, I would say it's a very valid point. But there's, like I was saying about the Florida men, like obviously, Ohio, like you said, was it Oklahoma or Kentucky?
I think it's Florida, Ohio, and Oklahoma are like the three biggest like what the fuck stories.
The ones I've heard a few from Ohio. I haven't really heard Oklahoma, but Florida man is definitely the most prevalent of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled up some of the headlines of Florida man just from 2019,
mm-hmm.
and it looks like there's one for every day.
Are you serious?
I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll read one. Hopefully it hits with you and you can say something about it while I find the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But starting on January 1st. Or no, actually, no, we'll start on January 2nd. January 2nd's headline was Florida man doesn't get straw. attacks McDonald's employee.
What the? What?
Why? Why would you?
Over a straw?
Yeah.
Are we trying to like get rid of those?
Well, I mean, yes. I'm assuming he didn't have his own.
Hashtag save the turtles.
Hashtag save the turtles. You might like being choked, but turtles don't. Keep your trash out of the ocean. Keep it out.
Way to plug that, bud.
Way to plug it. Oh, here we go. January 6th. Florida man intentionally drove Ferrari 360 into ocean at top speed. Try to rationalize that real quick. See if you can figure that out.
Was he inebriated?
It doesn't give me the story of it, but it does. Well, I mean, I'm assuming it wouldn't be because I would think it would say, Florida man drinks then drives in. It says it was a deliberate crash. It doesn't say anything about him being inebriated. At least
I
in
mean,
it.
he would actively go out of his way to crash that car. It might have belonged to like a rival of his. Might have been like a stolen car.
I mean, perhaps they. Yeah, I mean, like I said, all I'm seeing right now are headlines. I'm not getting any story behind it. So maybe it was someone they just didn't get along with when I get back at him.
Maybe it's next girlfriend.
Next day, and keep in mind these are not the same Florida men. It's just a collection of men in Florida.
Yes.
January 7th, Florida man denies syringes found in rectum are his. I'm just holding them for a friend.
Gotta shove them way up your butt, Morty.
You gotta get way up there. How do you even try to deny that?
How do you? I mean, how many? Do you know how many he had up there?
It doesn't say, but I'm assuming it says syringes.
That's plural, so at least of 2.
At least 2. I would say Florida man, crazy stories. I'd say more than likely 3 to 4.
I think just 1 would be uncomfortable, depending on the size that is too. I mean, granted, like the big like medical ones.
I'm assuming they're heroin syringes. So as far as I know, syringes.
The heroin syringes.
Gotta have some wabbits.
Had some rabbits with my heroin syringes. Get them addicted, then they'll come back.
But from what I know, heroin syringes are fairly thin.
That went really dark really fast.
Well, I mean, if you get them to come back to you, then there's dinner.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have heroin and intoxicated dinner, but it's still dinner.
Yeah.
True. I found another story that reminds me of you.
Oh, really?
From January 14th.
Oh, that's nice.
Florida man threatens to kill man with kindness. Uses machete named kindness. That is 100%.
Definitely something I would do.
It would definitely something you would do. That screams crow at the top of its lungs.
He's like, if you could describe my life in 1 sentence, that would be it.
Yeah, I could definitely get behind that. February 3rd, wig helps lead to arrest of Florida man in 7-Eleven robbery.
A wig?
Yeah. I guess the guy just liked wearing the wig, maybe? Wore it after the fact, and it was just like, oh, wow. That man is wearing a wig that exactly matches the CCTV footage from this crime.
How stupid do you have to be?
I'm going to assume pretty stupid.
Well, it's Florida, so.
Well, the thing is, most people in Florida I don't think are stupid. I wouldn't say it's the massive population. But there's definitely a few of them. There's definitely a few dumbasses.
There's been one every day so far this year. That's quite a few.
Nope, that's wrong.
No?
It does say on this, February 10th, a rare day of peace.
Wow.
So I'm assuming February 10th. I guess it was just like a statewide holiday of don't do dumb shit.
It's the purge, but backwards.
Yeah, but don't worry. The next day, the headline was Florida man recorded himself having sex with dog. So they got right back on track real quick.
Yeah, that makes sense. that sounds about right.
These stories are things of legend.
Myth, and just mystery.
There's a big myth
Okay.
that a lot of people have denied for a long time. We'll get off this Florida man tangent. Maybe
Yes,
we'll bring
we've
it
been-
back if y'all want to hear more about that. I'll keep the tab open for you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of legend that has gone down into the American Bigfoot,
Ah, yes.
ghosts, vampires, werewolves,
Mm-hmm.
and recently the Yeti.
Yeah. what was it? Maybe like 20-ish years ago, like the Yeti kind of, we'll say, emerged.
I once no, it was no, it was 1920s.
Oh damn! So like
It
way
was
back
19.
then.
Yeah, it was I want to say it was I don't know who. I don't know the name of who. But it was back in the 1920s when people started like being like, "Oh yeah, this Yeti thing."
Oh damn!
Like this big ass hairy gorilla looking bitch exists.
I mean, like personally,
So
I don't
almost
really believe
100
in the
years.
like. I'm not. I don't know if I believe in the Yeti, because like, granted, we haven't discovered everything on the planet yet.
Go ahead. No, continue.
So,
I have a
like-
counterpoint to that.
There might be something out there that we just haven't found yet. Because like, for instance, we've only explored like 3% of the ocean. There could
That's
be,
where I was going to go with that.
like there could be things in there that we haven't seen for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, I was going to bring that into the same because we do have, if you look at the world map, we do have land masses that we have cartographed. We know where water is, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's definitely still, like, I'm sure, like, if you look at Brazil, I'm sure that somewhere in, like, the Brazilian rainforest where all the tribes that still continue to live as they did back in, the 1800s, I'm sure that somewhere in there within their territory, there's probably a pretty decent sized lake
Oh yeah.
that we don't know about, so it's not on the map. So we've discovered and explored a large amount of the massive land
Yeah.
that we can see. But like you said, we've only discovered like about 3% of the ocean.
Yeah.
We've only explored that much. And there's still things to this day that astound us.
Like, just last week I saw like an article about a fish that has elbows. Why in the fuck does a fish need elbows?
I guess that's just going forth with proving evolution. Maybe that's what that is. I showed you a story earlier this week as well that there's a bird. I don't remember where, but it's a beach-laden bird that was extinct, and through other birds living in its area, in its climate, and with dealing with its predators, it evolved itself back into existence. This bird was completely extinct as far as anyone knows. I mean, I'm sure like if a species goes extinct, there's extensive research into making sure that that is factual.
Yeah.
But a different bird evolved itself back into existence. This bird is now back from the dead. Freaking zombie bird, essentially.
Jesus.
Zombie species. Jesus bird,
Yeah.
even. Like, that's nuts. And we're just thinking that we've only discovered and explored 3% of the ocean. There's still a good chance that, like, what was Moby Dick? The giant whale.
Oh yeah.
There's a very solid chance that whale exists. The Kraken.
Hashtag Nessie.
Yeah, just a few days ago. I mean, it'd probably be actually just shy of a week by the time this podcast comes out. But at this time, just a few days ago, a record-breaking 14-foot squid washed up on Japan's shores.
Wait, 14 feet?
Maybe it was 14 meter.
It sounds kind of small.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, 1 meter is 3 feet. So imagine you're about I would say about 2 meters tall, give or take.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because you're a little over 6 foot.
Yeah.
So if you're about 2 meters tall, this is 7 of you tall. So it's not the biggest thing.
It's not. It doesn't sound very big, but like when you really think about it.
If you looked at it.
Oh yeah.
If you looked at it, it'd be pretty big. Yeah, but just think the 3% we've explored has yielded these things. There's a solid chance that like megalodons,
Oh, I'm waiting for
like
that.
giant sharks, still could exist in this ocean. So I don't doubt that Yeti, Bigfoot. I could definitely see Bigfoot existing. The missing link between monkeys and current Homo sapiens. It says that Indian soldiers claim they found Yeti footprints in Nepal. Although experts say the prints more likely belong to a bear than the abominable snowman.
Yeah.
Which I can see where that would come from because we, again, don't have any
Rational proof.
Yeah, long-standing rational proof of the Yeti. But I could still
I mean, granted,
high hopes.
the footprints were measuring 32 by 15 inches.
81 by 38 centimeters.
If you're ever.
If you're metric.
Yeah. Like that's a big foot.
It's a
That's
very
a very big foot.
so just shy of 3 feet long
Yeah.
and over a foot wide.
Yeah.
A foot's 12 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
How could that even be a bear?
I don't know.
Like, granted, I
now
know-
thinking about this, I don't know if that's a bear.
Because that's,
You think it would have died by old age at that point?
I wouldn't even say old age. Like, even if it's a, whatever, even if it's a miracle and it's alive, it's been alive for, say, 200 years, this bear,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
They don't continuously grow.
No.
Humans don't continuously grow. We stop growing at like 26,
Yeah.
and then we just slowly shrink back down as we become old.
Yeah.
So even if the bear's been alive for 200 whatever years, I don't think it's even possible to have an almost 3 foot in length paw.
I mean, I don't think so.
Like
That's
because
big.
your foot's about a foot long.
Yeah, I get size 14
3
shoe.
of your feet.
Okay, that's
I'd say somewhere near there. I'm holding my hand up in front of his foot.
that's terrifying. To think of something that big on Earth.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said, experts have looked into it and they say it's most likely to be a bear, and maybe like the foot drag made it longer or something
Yeah.
to that extent. But they said for something that big, if that is the footprint of an animal or a single animal, it has to be the size of a dinosaur.
I mean, hell, technically dinosaurs are still around.
If you think of it in technicality, I think of it more so as domesticated dinosaurs, like Komodo dragons and such.
Well, like there's Komodo dragons, there's alligators, crocodiles, mosquitoes, for instance, are still technically a dinosaur.
Yeah, I guess in technicality they are labeled dinosaurs.
Yeah, because they were they were alive way back when.
Yeah, but through evolution it's
Yeah.
changed. Because if you think about dinosaurs and whatever, when did we come into play?
I don't know.
Yeah, because if you think about it, dinosaurs were alive, and we don't have any real record of Homo sapiens and dinosaurs being in the same
Mm-hmm. In the
general
same era.
in the same era. I would say even in the same millennium. With how with how long this Earth has existed,
Yeah.
but because I don't think there's any way that we could have existed with the dinosaurs because we don't know why they went extinct. But running off the meteor theory, if a meteor hit Earth that caused such a catastrophic wave of energy or debris or whatever to knock out the world population of dinosaurs,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way in hell that a Homo sapiens could have existed.
Oh, there's no way we would have survived.
No. So the only way I could think is that dinosaurs go extinct, an ice age hits or whatever, unfreezes, and then we evolved out of the water.
Whatever was there.
Yeah, whatever was there, whatever, larva.
Microorganisms.
Yeah, microbes, microorganisms. Yeah, it does say here that the wild hairy beast roaming the Himalayas captured imagination of climbers in Nepal since the 1920s, including one of the primary searches for the Yeti, Sir Edmund Hillary. Yeah. It says there was another sighting in 2008 from Japanese climbers returning from a mountain in western Nepal. Told people that they had seen the footprints, which they thought belonged to the Yeti. So there's a whole nother instance.
Oh, yeah.
Not even...
Dude, they're all over the world.
Yeah, just over a decade old. And that's... Well, I mean, Yeti is not.
Okay, Yeti is not, but
Yeti is in the basic...
colder regions.
Yeah, Eurasia landmass.
Yeah.
More so. The Bigfoot is the American one, which who knows, maybe we're just copying. Maybe we just kind of felt left out or something. And, also in 2008, 2 men in the United States said they found the remains of a half-man, half-ape, which was eventually revealed to be a rubber gorilla suit. Dang it, what?
How are you that stupid to be... I mean, and again, that's actually a pretty reasonable thing. Like, if it's way off in the distance, you're not really going to see all the details about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they reported the fact that it, did they just have, sat phones? And we're like, dude, I found the Yeti.
Hashtag Yeti.
Wait, I'm getting closer. Wow, his skin is very, very rubbery. It's a mask. Don't worry. It's a mask.
Although looking at the pictures of these footprints, they're a good maybe 2 to 2.5 feet apart from each other.
Yeah.
Like-
Whip it around. Let me see that. I haven't.
Like per step. That's a good 2 to 2.5 feet.
I wouldn't say 2.5 as big, but I definitely say 1.5 to 2.
Oh, I mean, like, granted, like,
still,
that's... Like,
yeah, I mean, humans can make that stride.
Yeah, but there's no, like, foot dragging in that picture.
Yeah, there's
which means it's rather tall.
Yeah, so rather tall. Since there's no foot dragging, there has to be some sort of leg joint.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a staggering.
Yeah, it's not
kind of
like a
creature.
straight leg kind of thing.
Yeah, and with the size of those footprints, maybe the Yeti's bigger than we thought.
Yeah,
I mean, they did say the Yeti had large feet.
Yeah.
Because like that's the same. It's the same thing with Bigfoot. They're essentially the same thing, just in different climates.
Yeah, different climates. I would say, Yeti might have, like, thicker fur due to climate.
Yeah, sort of like foxes and bears. Like there's Arctic foxes and then there's
Yes.
woodland foxes. There's polar bears, grizzly bears, whatever.
Different species, in a sense.
Yeah, I would say same species, different subspecies.
Correct.
Something sort of like that. But yeah, judging from those pictures, that I could get behind that.
I'm behind the Yeti theory.
I'm behind the Yeti theory. Are there any other paranormal kind of things that you believe in? Going a little bit off script with this, but we'll have fun here. It's gonna be a longer podcast, but we're here for you guys.
I don't even know what time we're at right now.
I think 57.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
I mean, if you think about it, our longest one's been 48, so
That's true.
already 10 minutes over that.
I mean, like, personally, I'm not gonna say I fully believe in the paranormal, but I believe there is something after death, before you go to, whatever may be heaven, hell. You pick your thing.
Valhalla.
Because, say for instance, like, when I was a kid, I always felt something watching over me that I couldn't really see. At the time, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't really know how to react to it, so I was always kind of, nervous and, kind of scared around it. But as I grew older, I kind of rationalized, what it might be, who it might be.
It's your inner demons.
Dude, my inner demons are still kicking my ass to this day.
They were getting ready. They were coming to get you.
They've been beating me down for the last 15 years.
They're gonna slap your booty.
All right, Herbert. Yeah, I mean, like granted, such as other paranormal things, such as vampires, werewolves. We'll even say ghouls for that matter.
Yeah, ghouls, ghosts,
Yeah.
specters, whatever.
I don't really believe in the whole vampire werewolf thing, but I do believe there is life after death before, we'll say, purgatory.
Yeah, I could, but I'm along the same lines as you. I don't think purgatory is necessarily a setting or a
Okay.
place. I believe that we're, and this is a little off kilter. I haven't found a definite name for my kind of thing, but it's like, I believe it's sort of like a mixture between Viking spiritual beliefs and not European, Egyptian religion.
Okay.
So like I think that there were certain individuals in the beginning of time that weren't necessarily gods, but they had influence over large areas of land. Large
Deities,
areas of
basically.
people. I wouldn't even say deities, because deities still holds that like.
It still has power, but it's not a god.
Yeah, but I'm not even saying supernatural power.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like influence. That might be a better word. Like influence over large areas of land, large areas of people. They had money, such as that, and so to people looking from below them, from below their pedestal, they were these gods, sort of like idolization.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I do believe there was like people such as that, like in the Egyptian religious beliefs, like Ra.
Yes.
Like such as that, like Ra in themselves was not a, spiritual specter.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the right word, maybe not ghost, but like it wasn't an image of this supernatural being. It was just this person that was rarely seen, because sort of like how celebrities are these days. They stay in hiding and occasionally they'll be seen.
Yeah.
It was sort of that person that gave the appearance of being such as this larger being, this more powerful being.
Yeah.
And I believe that they are there and they were guiding those below them, and that sort of started like in the afterlife. After you pass on, you are then given the job of sort of guiding your kin that come after you.
Okay.
I don't know what the word. I know, like, from where we are to people that died before us as ancestors, but descendants. That's the word for
Okay.
it. Sort of guiding your blood descendants.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of helping with that. Because, like, I've been in situations where I don't know how to do certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I could do those certain things.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not talking flying or anything, but I got into a fight in high school. It was the first fight and the only fight I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Kid kept, pushing me or whatever. I eventually, I just snapped, went over and I punched at him. I missed. I hit him in the collarbone instead of the face. But the last thing I remember is him swinging at me and I put my arm up.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point on, it was black until a teacher yelled, "Hey, stop that!" All angry, like, "Hey!" But the teacher yelled, and then I kind of quote unquote regained consciousness.
Yeah.
But from when I talk to people, like this kid was known for acting out. He's had altercations with people before.
Yeah. The school bully.
Yeah, the school bully, sort of. He didn't land a hit on me, and I do not have any fighting experience. I did not have any training,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I do know that I descended from, Viking warriors
Mhm.
on my father's side, sort of like these clansmen,
Yeah.
not in the American clan sense,
Of course.
clan with a C. And I know on my mother's side, we came from some sort of knightly royalty, whether we were squires or full-fledged knights.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I could definitely see how I could have been guided
Yeah.
in that sense. Like, that adrenaline rush kicked in the back parts of my brain that had
Your extra
taken this
neurodes are connected.
yeah, because they've done studies on rats where anytime they smelled this orange blossom,
Mhm.
they would zap them.
Yeah.
And they eventually stop smelling that orange blossom,
Mhm.
which is natural. If you anytime you touch the color red, if I slapped you in the face, you'd eventually stop touching the color red.
Yeah.
But what the kicker is in that is when those rats had kids,
Mhm.
they were never exposed to the shock torture, but they did not go near an orange blossom,
That is.
and they were never exposed to the negative connotations of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that does prove to a certain extent.
That you're guided by.
Yeah, like, or maybe not guided spiritually, but that there is some sort of, backhanded in the back of your head, like, that's passed down.
Yeah.
Like, this knowledge and, like, this, because, I mean, humans don't necessarily have that from what we've been able to tell so far.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can still get a 5-year-old that, slaps his hand down on an oven.
Yeah.
Like, obviously that hurts, and I'm sure a lot of people have done that, so that you would think their kids would know that if that theory stands.
I've done it.
But yeah, I definitely get what you're saying with the whole spiritual ancestor thing.
Yeah.
I can definitely get behind that.
See, I don't know what else to talk about.
I don't either. Maybe
Like,
ghosts. You believe in ghosts?
Like I said, like I believe that there is life after death. But like personally, I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe the whole heaven, hell.
I'm not talking
purgatory
about
kind of
heaven and hell. I'm talking about you're sitting home, you're playing video games, and all of a sudden a book flies across the room and smashes into the wall.
Oh, I've had that. I have legit had that.
Okay, talk about that.
Okay, so I believe I was around 11 years old. 11, we'll say 10 to 12, somewhere in that range. It was later at night, I believe it was a school night. So, obviously I can't fall asleep because, school in the morning. And so I was kind of just sitting there thinking to myself, and I heard like a little bit of rustling in my room.
That was me.
And so, I'm not really thinking too much of it. We had a cat at the time, so I'm like, the cat probably got locked in here, whatever. So I get up, go to my door, I open it, and no cat runs out, like usual. So I'm like, okay, whatever, it's probably just trying to go to sleep.
Mhm.
I close the door, I get back in bed, I'm about to fall asleep. Out of nowhere, all I hear is... I instantly just snapped awake.
That's as I would assume you would do. I believe that would be a natural reaction.
Yeah. So I snap awake, not knowing what happened. I'm scared shitless. I jump out of bed, I flick the light on. There's no cat in the room. Nobody else in the room but me. But the one book, the only book I had in my fucking room at the time.
Or even to this day.
No, I have books in my room this time.
Yeah, but
in
they're
this
all
day.
dusty. You uneducated bitch.
I mean, they may not really be like literary books, but they're game guides.
I guess that still
It's still a
counts.
book, but
Yeah. So the only book in your room just launches.
yeah, it was completely across the room. Unbeknownst to me, there was something there.
Yeah, some sort of specter.
I didn't know what it was. At the time, I didn't want to know what it was.
I still wouldn't want to know, honestly.
So at the time, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep. I think.
Yeah, at least try to.
I crawled back in bed. And, being a kid, I kind of just like pull the covers over my head, like, okay, I'm safe now.
Yeah, it's same. Yeah, ghosts, robbers, anything. They can't hit you if you're under the covers.
Yeah, of course. Boogeyman, he can only get you if your legs
Yeah,
off the bed.
he'll pop out your heads up. They'll be like, oh shit, boogie monster.
Yep.
Cover your head up. He's like,
Where'd he go?
damn it, try again tomorrow. Like I can't get him. He's under his shroud of
Under
protection.
the blanket. Damn it.
I had a similar experience to that, not necessarily with things flying across the room or whatever, but I remember, and it's sort of a silly kind of way of coming across this sort of realization.
Yeah.
But I was playing pin guard
Ah.
in 7th or 8th grade, which is essentially it's dodgeball with 3 to 5 pins at the very back of your team's side. You can either lose the game by losing all your players, or from all these pins being knocked over.
Love that
Which,
game.
yeah, very very fun game.
Oh, yeah.
Great time.
Except for when you're playing with girls and, he threw it too hard.
Yeah, but they,
That's when you land the headshot.
yeah, this is before equality. If we went back to school now, they couldn't say that. You want to be treated as equal, so we're just gonna peg you in the head.
It's not like those, soft, like cushy, like Nerf balls. No, we're talking like the original, like red rubber dodgeballs.
Oh, yeah, those hurt a little bit.
Those were the OG days.
But yeah, I remember playing pin guard, and I was one of, I would say, 2 to 3 people left on my team, and I ran up to get a ball, and then just kind of like lobbed it at a kid just to try to hit him. It missed, and he launched a ball at me, and we're maybe 7 feet apart,
Yeah.
and just launches it to make sure he hits. I matrix dodged backwards, where I'm just like where below my knees don't move.
Yeah.
I just kind of like lean back. I feel I feel at least 2 hands behind my back catch me, and put a ball in my hand. So it had to have been at least 3 hands.
Yeah.
2 catch me, 1 puts a ball in my hand. It lifts me up very quickly, and I launch the ball back, and I hit the kid, and I get him out.
Nice.
I turn around to go, hey, nice catch. No one is left on my team. The other 2 had gotten hit since the last time I checked. No one else was there.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean I could definitely see like the it's not unsightly, but the unseen.
The unseen help.
Yeah, the unseen help of like my ancestors just being like, yo, this is, I guess, the equivalency of a 7th grade
Here's
battle.
your training.
Yeah, it's a battle simulation, I guess.
Yeah.
So help them out how we can. I didn't get out, and I don't believe we won that game. But still, that little nuts. I was a little crazy there for a minute.
So, actually, on the topic of the whole unseen help kind of thing, I believe it was in my freshman year of high school. I was in ROTC. Granted, back then, hated it. Looking at it now, it was a great choice. We were playing dodgeball because we couldn't do PT. It was raining outside, whatever.
PT is physical training?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know. For some reason, I'm not fully sure as to why, I mean, other than dodgeball. At this time, it was, the cushy Nerf balls. I had 1 ball in my right hand, 1 ball in my left.
What colors?
I think one was orange, one was blue. So, Portal.
Good balls.
Blue ones always hit the hardest for some reason.
Yeah, personally, I think the greens do.
Really?
Greens and whites were always hard.
I never had the white ones.
Yeah, those are special.
So there was this one chick who was in my class, opposite side of the gym. Like, complete opposite side. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I lobbed that ball as hard as I possibly could, and it went in a dead straight line. We're talking like bullet trail, just straight line. I broke her nose with that fucking ball.
Oh my god.
I whipped that damn thing as hard as I possibly could. Not only broke her nose.
Oh my god.
But one of our teachers, we had 3 at the time.
That's a lot of teachers.
It really is. He was on their team. Next, like, split second later, after hitting her in the face, I look over, I see his arm cocked and moving towards me. So I'm like, either shit, I'm gonna die here, or I gotta move.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. I blinked my eyes and I was on the ground. Like, ball rushing over me, and I'm laying, like, sprawled out, like, dead body style on the ground.
Jeez.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe you threw 2 balls. One of them knocks you out.
But, like, I got up, and I'm kind of, like, just standing there for a second, like, what the hell just happened? And one of my best friends, his name was John Baker, I'll probably share this with him afterwards, was just staring at me. Like, what the hell did you just do?
I mean, I would give the same reaction, because judging from how you told that story, just like you essentially teleported into a chalk outline.
It was awesome. Like looking back at it, like it's probably like one of my favorite moments in high school, is knowing that you can break someone's face with a fucking dodgeball.
Yeah, and not even one of the rubber ones.
Not even
one
rubber.
of the softer kind of.
It's a
ones.
foam ball that I just damn near broke someone's face with.
That is.
It's beautiful.
It's insane. That's insane. But we should probably cut this off.
Yes, we should. It's
about
getting
an hour
late.
and 15 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah. I wish we could go longer.
I wish
And maybe at some point we'll have special days where we do go longer, but we're going to try to keep it,
try to keep it under an hour.
Yeah, it's not going to be this time, but longer episodes are fun. We have a lot to talk about with you guys, and we enjoy sharing our experiences and weird things with you.
Yeah.
But I would like to say in closing to all you listening, thank you all for listening to our podcast. We really do appreciate it. We're not making money off of this yet. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed we can make this some kind of career or something. But it does mean a lot to any of you listening, because if we do get feedback from you, we can always make our podcast better and make it reach to a larger audience and make it more of a proud thing.
Yeah.
Something that we can really. I mean, I'm personally proud of us to do this.
Definitely.
I haven't done an actual project for myself in a while.
Neither have I.
So this is really nice. And if you liked what you heard, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube just to make sure you can hear us again. We're titled the Almost Live Podcast, which if you're listening to this, you're already on our page. So just click the subscribe button.
Hit that bell icon so you know when we post.
Yeah, hit the bell. Just click that. I know my dad clicked the bell, so he knows when this is going to be up.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So he's got that going. So someone else, just click it. It'll let you know when we post stuff. Hopefully, if it works correctly, I'm assuming it does.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll know when we're up here, and you can listen to us again and enjoy your time. You can also follow us on Twitter at Almost Live Show, no spaces and no W on show. We'll post updates of when we're posting, which should be Mondays at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also working on a smaller mini-series that go up at random points in the week.
Yeah.
So, smaller updates like that. So you can definitely check our Twitter to see when one of those is coming up. And if you have that bell clicked on YouTube, you should definitely get notified of that too. So there's a whole nother reason for you to click that in. Our Instagram is Almost Live Show. The spaces are underscores, and again, no W. W is for losers. We haven't posted very much on there. I know I made personalized merch for the people working on this podcast right now. So we have pictures of that on there. And if you guys like that merch and you're willing to buy it, I will make more. That would be kind of cool, just to eventually see someone walk around with our shirt on.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely nuts.
I would love to see that.
And all y'all, make sure to tune in next week for another hilarious podcast. It's been great talking to you.
See you later, motherfuckers.